with experience, great aircraft. As a junior guy, pretty scary aircraft. We were lucky we had two-seaters, unlike the Sabre where you just strapped one to your bum and went flying. Two-seaters, you did a few two-seat rides before you went solo. Very good performance, very ancient cockpit in terms of layout. There were a lot of weapons applications where you physically had to change hands to make selections and stuff. So it was an ergonomic nightmare. Very poor cockpit lighting. It had World War II ultraviolet and infrared lighting. And it had a very high approach speed. Approach speed on finals of 190 knots for a light aircraft, over the fence at 175 knots for touchdown. Not an easy airplane to see out of because it was a delta wing, very high nose angle. Almost impossible to see out when it was raining. Because the rain would just obscure the front panel you look through. And you had to sort of kick it off to the side a bit, the rudder, and look around the side. It didn't really stall as such, it mushed. So a normal aircraft would have a lift drag coefficient of lift that went like sudden like that. The Mirage went like that. So in a Mirage, instead of it stalling and dropping, you got on the back of the drag curve, and the more and more power you applied had a little less and less effect until you were in fact in a deep stall with full power wouldn't get you out of. Not a classic aeroplane stall at all, but nonetheless one that could get you into trouble. It wasn't an easy aircraft to become comfortable in, and it was particularly so at night. And we traditionally had the habit of flying the Sing at night on every second Thursday pay night. After a day's flying, there'd be 1, 2, maybe 3 aircraft left over from the flying, so 3 unlucky sods would get to strap the Sing to their bum and launch off into the dark. By the time they'd flown the first sortie, there'd be no serviceable ones left for the second wave. So those guys, everyone would retreat to the bar and recount their scary experiences. So nobody liked flying the Sing at night. I went to 76 Squadron, having a great old time there. I was up in Darwin when the Whitlam government announced some big military cutbacks, one of which was 76 Squadron being disbanded. So I flew the last 76 Mirage formation home from Darwin. You've got to bear in mind this was just after the 72 air show, where we'd had the Deltas flying a 7 aircraft formation, which is absolutely magnificent stuff. So the Mirage was in its heyday, and we were bitterly disappointed. That had a flow-on effect. I mean, there was a CO, 3 flight commanders, fighter combat instructor. So there were a lot of appointments that disappeared out of the promotion pool, which would have an impact on those of us who were left.